In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you advice and lessons that I have learned being a fashion designer. You know, what I think is important and what it actually takes to succeed both as a designer and as an entrepreneur and as a female entrepreneur as well. You know, loving what you do, not imagining doing anything else with your life is your secret ingredient. So I do hope you enjoy this video, get lots of tips, and hopefully this will inspire you to keep moving forward and loving what you do, because I believe in you. I know that you can go out there and create an amazing fashion empire.
Hey little girl, I wanna be a boyfriend. Sweet little girl, I wanna be a boyfriend.
Hey everyone, a big welcome to my channel. My name is Caroline Matthews and I am an award-winning fashion and bridal designer and also the founder of the Luxe Collective. This channel is all about helping designers build an epic, stylish personal brand and business that they have dreamt of and absolutely longed for, which is pretty much what I dreamed of and longed for my entire life. I want to give you the lowdown on what it takes to build your creative empire and share with you the lessons that I have actually learned. The inspiration for this video this week has really come from me sitting down and reflecting on all my years as a designer. I'm in the middle of putting together an epic event in LA for fashion creatives and female entrepreneurs. And these are really some of the things that I wish that I had been told when I started my label. You know, I'm meeting new designers as we speak while I'm putting on the event. And, you know, you get asked the same questions and the same, you know, what about the passion and the vision? So I hope this week's video really helps to give you some advice, it gives you some tips, and to most of all, keep you inspired for going out there and creating this badass fashion empire that I know you are destined to make. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was, I actually got asked the other day, if I could be anything, what would it be? And without even a second's thought, without having to think about it, I said I wanted to be a designer. And my friend was just like, well, you already are a designer. And I was like, well, yeah, this is what I wanted to be. You know, I trusted in it, I went with it. And you know, because to me, being a fashion designer is being a visionary. I see myself as a visionary. You know, I absolutely love what I do. I cannot imagine doing anything else with my life. I eat, breathe, sleep. I am super inspired by fashion. And, you know, I really see fashion as a voice. It's an expression. You know, I believe that my voice that can influence a culture through my collections, the same way your voice can as well. You know, your voice, your collection can shape somebody, whoever it is that you design for. So really, if somebody asks you that question, like, what is your answer going to be? You know, is it to inspire women to wear your fashion? Is it to inspire a culture? Is it to give a voice to your brand? You know, what is it? Really, really think about it and get excited by it as well. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was absolutely loving what you do. You know, for me, if you love what you do, then honestly, there is absolutely no greater feeling, no greater rush in the world of seeing that idea come to life, seeing it on a runway, seeing it on somebody in the street. Like, imagine how amazing it is, that feeling when you are walking down the street and someone is wearing a piece from your collection. I have had this feeling. Somebody told me this years ago. They're like, Caroline, just think how amazing it would feel. And I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. But trust me and believe me when I say, when you see your collection on that runway, and when you see somebody walking down the street wearing your fashion, you will know what I mean. It's the most incredible feeling. And this is what gets you so excited. I'm even so excited. It gets you so excited about what you do and you love what you do. And it reminds you of your passion that you have. And that nicely leads me on to my next point, which is to find your passion. Now, we know as designers and as creatives that there are going to be times when everything feels like it's not happening. You know, no sales are coming in, you are not inspired, you know, you're having trouble with your factories, fabrics are not turning up, and you've got to find that passion and hold on to it with both hands and never, ever, ever let it go. Because finding that passion, you get to lead the way. You know, you are a creative. You live for this. You live for being a designer, for people wearing your fashion, for people feeling amazing in what it is that you have designed. You know, you've got to be crazy, stupid, in love with your passion. I mean, I often say to my clients that it's almost like you've got to have an affair with your passion. You know, you've got to love it so much that you become obsessed by it. You've got to be crazy in love with it, that you want to spend time with it. You want to be with it 24/7. You know, it makes you feel amazing. It gives you that awesome feeling inside. Because when you love it so much and you become obsessed, it's the only way that you keep that passion alive when, you know, things are going wrong, or when you're not feeling inspired, or, you know, as I said, the sales have not come in, or something's just not quite right, or you're feeling a bit out of the funk. Finding your passion and holding on to it and keeping it is one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you as a designer and as a creative. The other thing that I think is really, really important as well is to learn the ropes. You know, I mean, we say this, I remember when I left university many, many moons ago, I was told to, you know, go find a company, go work with them for a while. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to start my own label. I wanted to get stuck in. I wanted to start straight away and have my own label. But working for somebody else gives you the opportunity to, you know, to dip your toe into different areas of the fashion industry. You know, see what you love, see what you hate. And how amazing is it that you can actually get paid for doing this? You can get paid for making the mistakes. You can get paid for not liking certain things. But this is the best way that you can figure out how you want to be as a designer. You know, being a fashion designer may mean to you working for a couture label or a high-end label. It might not necessarily mean to be your own designer and to have your own collection. When I first did an internship, I did an internship with a high gloss fashion magazine when I was in Australia. And if I'm truth be told, I was like Anne Hathaway from The Devil Wears Prada. I was on coffee making duty. I was picking up the shoes from boutiques. I was spent probably a week inside a cupboard, arranging fashion on rails, cleaning shoes, making coffees, dropping off this, picking up that. And there was a point when I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm not learning anything. But then equally, I got to attend these photo shoots. And yes, I was the dog's body. And yes, I was just picking up clothes, handing them, picking up clothes, ironing them, making coffee, doing all these things. But I got to be immersed in fashion. I got to be immersed in that. And it really just made me even more excited about the fashion industry. It just made me know that this was it. This was what I was living for. Yes, I realized that I didn't want to work with magazines, which was a great thing, but it just fueled my passion even more. So a big thing would be to learn the ropes. And as I said, work for somebody, intern for somebody, just get that experience and just find out if it's something that you really, really, really love. The other thing that I think is a great piece of advice is to be okay with doubting yourself. Now, what I mean by this is when you design a collection, I'm pretty sure you're going to be designing so many pieces, but if you design something and you are not sure about it, or if it doesn't fill you with excitement, if you can't envisage it on somebody, then throw it away. Do not continue with it, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be selling your product to a boutique or to a store or online, you do not want a product that is going to sit on the shelves and get dusty and never sell. You know, you've got to trust your gut and trust your instinct, because ultimately you cannot promote what you do not love. I've had experience with this where I designed a dress. I hated it. I couldn't feel the passion for it. I was getting told that it was a really amazing dress and that I should do it, but I couldn't sell it. You know, it sold in dribs and drabs, but I couldn't sell it to the extent that I really wanted to. And that was really because the passion wasn't there. And if I'd have trusted my gut and been okay with doubting that that particular item wasn't going to work, I would never have done it. I would never have spent the money on producing it and promoting it. So be okay with doubting yourself, you know, because it's what we want to have a good, strong collection, one that depicts who you are, what your brand is about, you know, who your collection is for, and they are the pieces that we want to be promoting. Always stand by how you feel and always be okay with doubting pieces in your collection. Just go with what feels good for you, what feels strong, and what you get excited about. Because like I said, at the end of the day, you have to promote it. You should want to wear it. You should want to wear every single piece in your collection. So be okay with doubting yourself. The other piece of advice I wanted to give you is to be determined. If you know what you want, know you can get it, then go with it. You know, not every day will go to plan. You will doubt yourself, but you sure as hell are not going to give up. You know, it's all about, like, I have often called my friends when I first started my fashion label and I was telling them enough was enough. I was not going to carry on with this. I was sick of getting no's from boutiques. I was sick of being let down by factories. And then one day, one of my friends said, right, okay, Caroline, I'm going to paint a picture for you here. And she painted a picture of me seeing my collection on a runway and seeing my collection in stores, on shelves, packed so nicely and looking amazing. And she asked me how I felt at that moment when she described this. And I just said, oh my God, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up. I want that. I want that feeling of seeing my collection on a runway. And, you know, I want to see it. I want to see it in the stores. So I was completely determined to never give up. So please, please do not give up. Be determined. Run with it. Go with it. If it's passion, like you're finding your passion, be determined. Because honestly, this industry is not an easy industry. You know, that is one thing that I have learned from all of the people that have given me advice. It is not an easy industry, but you have to be determined. You have to find your passion. And that comes on to me really saying that you've got to know your why. To me, as a designer, I believe everybody has a destiny. Everyone has to live out their destiny. And if you're not, you're never going to be truly happy. You know, I realized my destiny was producing fashion and helping other designers to do the same. Why? Because it makes me happy. It makes me feel fulfilled inside. And this why is what will keep you going when everything around you feels like it's collapsing. Knowing your why and why you're doing it will be the saving grace when you're up until 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning sewing in front of your sewing machine. Knowing your why will be the determining factor when a boutique turns around to you and says, actually, your collection isn't what we're looking for. Knowing your why and your destiny is what will keep you floating above water when you feel like you're drowning. And to me, these are just a few of the pieces of advice that I wish I had had when I started my fashion collection. And I know they're not your normal pieces of advice. They're not telling you how to do spreadsheets and how to do your costings. That will come in other videos. I just wanted to really give you more of a mindset look of what I believe it actually takes to be successful as a fashion designer. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video on my channel. I want you to know that if you can create what people love, they will buy it from you. If you can be crazy in love with your passion, you will succeed. Fashion is not an easy industry, but if you love it, if you feel it, if you sleep it, you breathe it, then I promise you this is your destiny. This is what you were born to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. Please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video. As usual, don't ever give up on your dream. You are here to be creative. You are here to make the most amazing things happen within your fashion label. And if I can help you at all, I hope this channel does help you. Gives you a bit of an insight of what it takes to be a designer and everything that goes on in the world of the fashion industry. Until the next time, big love and good vibes.